Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about the oversaturation in movies and television as well of comic books and the superhero genre in general. Jodie Foster recently commented on this and basically said she thinks movies are shit now because all they do ever is put out these superhero movies that are meant to make $1 billion. That also includes things like Star Wars, Transformers, and all those movies, and they just constantly milk them. I mean, of course, since Marvel Cinematic Universe arose, other cinematic universes arrive where they're trying to make properties completely unrelated to superheroes and other things like that into their own cinematic universe, which, you know, has worked to varying effect, and by varying, I mean only Marvel's had half an ounce of success doing it. Everyone else has basically failed completely, but I mean, we get a lot of movies every year, and I do agree with Jodie Foster in some ways. Obviously, I don't have a problem with superhero movies coming out. I mean, I think we do have some good ones, thought-provoking ones every year that are halfway decent. I mean, we had Logan, which was a great movie. Wonder Woman was alright. I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was a super fun movie and did something a little different with it. Was a high budget movie, did make a shitload of money, but did something with the plot. But at the same time, we have a bunch of movies like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which, nothing against Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it was a good enough movie, but it was just okay. And we have so many just okay movies that it starts to bog it down, and then we also get terrible movies. A lot of them aren't from major companies, but I guess they are. I was gonna say major companies as in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and stuff, but I mean, we got The Mummy, which was fucking garbage cinematic universe bait. Transformers 5, which they're kind of doing a cinematic universe with. That's fucking trash. Fox's last two X-Men movies, well, actually no, just Apocalypse was bad, but I mean, point is, they start releasing so many superhero movies, many of which are just plain old fucking garbage, and a lot of cinematic universe movies that are trying to be superhero movies, even if with not superhero properties or whatever. And then you go over to TV and it's the same fucking shit. There's like 20 CW, or like 5 CW shows: Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. Plus you got Riverdale, if you count that. I mean, that's a comic book show, so we'll count that. You got Gotham, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Netflix has like 5 or 6 shows to varying qualities. Hulu has Runaways. It's like there's so many of these fucking shows, live action and animated too, that it just starts to get ridiculous, and it bogs down the genres of not only TV but also movies. Yes, I love superhero movies, I love superhero comics, and same thing with other comics. I don't mind when something's based on a comic book or a movie, or a comic book or superhero, or if they want to do a cinematic universe, or at least attempt a cinematic universe with their brands, but they gotta understand that oversaturation is gonna lead to nothing good. I mean, Power Rangers flopped, The Mummy flopped. I don't think we're gonna see many companies going for the cinematic universe approach after this. Is it gonna slow them down from trying to make $1 million box office blockbusters that make $1 billion a year? No. I mean, Disney's pushing out more Star Wars movies. They're going to be pushing out more Marvel movies. Eventually, when they get Fox, they're going to drop at least one extra movie compared to what they're doing a year, I bet you, because, there's a lot to juggle with all the X-Men franchises and all that, but I'm sure it could be as many as 2 more movies per year, So, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes on, because I think the empire that we were seeing built around the Avengers, after the Avengers, when it was like these movies can absolutely do no wrong, that is starting to slip. I mean, these third-party companies, Justice League, compared to, if Justice League came out in 2012, it would have made like $300 million more than it did. But unfortunately, for some people, and fortunately for others who just want the movies to slow down or stop, like myself. Well, I don't want them to stop, but at least slow down, like myself. that's a good sign. But at the same time, these movies aren't, if they let the bubble completely pop, where, Justice League made what, like $600 million or something like that. That's chump change compared to Avengers. It's a relative flop. And it's like, these companies are going to start falling off from doing these movies at all. So, I think a lot of us fans eat it up now and say, some of these movies suck, but whatever, we're getting 2 or 3 good ones. It's going to eventually bottom out that part of the industry. We're not going to be getting many superhero movies anymore. It's going to be more like the early 2000s, where there's only 2 or 3 that can be released every year. And even Marvel Cinematic Universe, which so far has not really had many flops, at least in its modern it didn't have any flops, but if you count the modern iterations, like post-Avengers, everything's done a shitload of money. But that said, that can easily bottom out, and Marvel, I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's great that they have all Fox's properties now. I think it's great they have Spider-Man with them. I think it's great they have all the shit they had before, but I think they're going to have to start juggling a lot. And I think maybe it's a good thing, because the brakes might be applied a little bit on these superhero movies. Marvel themselves are going to have to output more movies, I think at least 1 or 2 to incorporate Fox, and Spider-Man's kind of its own thing, so it's not really going to be put into the calculation for Marvel's properties they directly control. But you got to keep in mind now that they have a lot of movies to put out, a lot of franchises to juggle, and hopefully Marvel doesn't start sacrificing quality, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot like DC did, or Warner Brothers I should say, like The Mummy did, like Power Rangers did. And I think the oversaturation's bad for comic book movies and TV. Like, as fans now, we might want 5-10 movies a year, sure. But in 5 years, when these movies don't make money, or don't make enough money that it's worth it, like, if they don't make as much money, you're not going to be able to do as highly ambitious things as, like, Infinity War. And then people are going to be like, well, why aren't they as good as they were before? So it's a double-edged sword we're riding, especially when it comes to all this crap coming out. So my highest piece of advice is support the good movies, don't see the bad movies. And that's the same with the TV shows. Like, a lot of these TV shows that are out are fucking garbage. Like, who watches Gotham? Like, Gotham is complete garbage. It's freaking Law and Order with Batman characters. It's literally Law and Order reskinned to make more money. Now, I don't have a problem with that inherently, but they're making a crappy show. And if you're a fan of that show, I apologize. Like what you like, but personally, I think the show's fucking garbage. Well, I think that's my 2 cents on this whole cinematic universe, superhero comic book movie and TV show oversaturation problem. In many ways, I agree with Jodie Foster, but at the same time, I do like these movies. I do enjoy these movies, but an oversaturation is starting to actually ruin the movie industry, which is a problem I think we'll be facing as moviegoers and comic fans alike within the next couple of years. But we'll see. Anyways, if you liked this video, please subscribe. I'll be making more of these videos a few times a week, so I appreciate it.